Good morning, guys. Hey, Churchy Booty. All right, we got that green time walk deck from last night that we need to finish up. Good morning, Doomslayer. This looks like a terrible hand going second. Okay. Going second always because reasons. My opponent plays Eager First Year. I play Needlethorn Drake. My opponent attacks, no blocks. My opponent plays a better creature. I draw Island. I play Island. Your turn, opponent. Did I have fun? My opponent plays Combat Professor. Fuck. Okay. My opponent only attacks with one creature. I pre-combat everything. So I choose to block and shrink his creature. Your creature is tiny. I take Introduction to Annihilation. Get death touched, bitch. That's what I say to him. Okay. Oh, did I have fun last night? Yeah, it was okay. Would you like, opponent? Boo, boo, opponent, boo. Okay. So they're both 3 per turn. I do at some point need to draw something that does something. Should have gone the other way. Should have exiled the flyer this turn. I guess this creature's okay. Would have been nice as a 4/4, so I could have blocked the Pledge Mage and lived. Okay. Dude, he's Combat Professor into Combat Professor? I kind of hate this guy right now. This time walk's looking real bad. I exile your Combat Professor. I draw a Combat Professor. He's real weird about the value of his creatures. It's kind of crazy. So it's 8 to cast these 2. 9 to cast these 2. If I take a turn off here to cast Pledge Mage, we're absolutely fucked. So I'm going to pass. And upkeeps, well, not upkeep, I guess I'm going to Snow Day here. Hey, Diki, no Valheim today, no Valheim today. Okay, we've drawn 2 lands. Not ideal. Vile Mathematician, where have you been all of my life? He's at 24 though, so I can't even kill him with a time walk here, unfortunately. Why not keep the campus that can scry? Maybe. Maybe. Thought process. I mean, here, I guess it would have been fine if I'd mapped out my play a little bit better. To be fair, I didn't know I had the biomath petition. My general thought is, right now we're playing a tempo game. We're trying to kill him with the time walk before he kills us. And my concern is that if I keep a tap land when I have plenty of sources, that I will not get there from timing. Like, it's a dead land one turn. Now, it turns out this turn would have been fine, but we didn't know what our top deck was. I've got like 6 draw cards in this deck or something. We just haven't hit one. I mean, drawing another island here, it's really bad. Or we had our 2 draws off the fucking time walk, or the snow day were lands. We've drawn 2 more lands, and then the biomath petition. I wish I would draw one of my draw cards so I could not lose the game. Let's see. 2, 4, 6 to the face. I'm dead. So I need him to block. Let's see if he'll block. ACV. No, we die. We die to a flood here. I don't know. The Skyland is so slow. Would it have helped here? Technically, yes. Would it have been enough? Maybe. I mean, here I'm sitting with 5 lands, but if we're going to draw in this order, we're just always going to lose. Carven Disarm. Thanks for the resub. Glad my notifications are working. Okay. I'm annoyed to lose that one. I think we don't lose that one very often, but I didn't manage to draw any of our 3 big draw cards or really impactful cards, and we drew a fucking million lands. Like, honestly, like that game. Got a flyer that can get us out of there. We've got 2 more drakes that can get us out of there. We've got the mind control that can get us out of there. We've got harmonize and Eureka moment that can get us out of there. We've got our bounce that can get us out of there. It's just like, fuck. Do I really need to hit land, 3-drop, land? What's the last card? 2-drop? 3-drop? It's kind of annoying. All right. This is a much better hand. We got our apprentice in our opening hand, which is great. We've got our mind control. We got our tap land on 1. Feels good. Don't remove it. Don't you fucking dare. Okay. I can't block it, so I might as well attack. That card is super good, though. It's one of the... I feel like this is one of the black-white build-arounds. I wonder if Arcane Subtraction is worth it here. Maybe. Trying to figure out what our plays are here, and at the moment I don't mind just continuing to invest in this with Snakeskin. Weird that he blocks there. He can't seriously be concerned about the race. Hey, Paint Bucket. Am I liking the set so far? Sure. Not hating it. Thank you. Think he ever blocks here? I think sometimes he blocks here. I think this is a Barium Books turn for the Combat Professor. I don't hate stealing his 2/2 right now. I wish I could steal his Combat Professor, but it's 1 mana off. This slows down his removal options for my creatures, stops his lifelinking. The lifelink is actually a big problem since we are technically a tempo deck, even in the end game. I would have liked to have held up Barry for Books for the Combat Professor to get it off the board, but I don't think I want to give him another 3 points of lifelink. It's just a 2/2 flyer. It seems fine. Oh, I bought his Pilgrim back, sure. Am I willing to trade off the lifelinker for the Rescuer, whatever the fuck it is? 2/2. Oh, it's Menace. I think I like 5 mana helixing the... Oh, I don't have a target in my graveyard, so I actually can't helix. Cardboard Live is not working. Is it working for anyone else? Because it's definitely open, and I definitely launched it after the fucking game. All right, I'll relaunch it. Could have booked that attack. Well, oh, I could have because I have fucking Killian. Shit. I missed it. Thanks. I just restarted it. I mean, it's up. I don't understand why this program just randomly decides not to work. Like, it's an annoying thing for sure. All right, I'm willing to trade Killian for the Combat Professor, but it won't work that way. I guess I can still cast this for 3. Why is it not discounting it? I don't really want him getting it back this early is the problem. Alright, we already played land. I'm going to bounce this turn. This is a 1, so I can play them both, right? Alright. Kind of wanted that lifelink. I don't know if putting the card, one more card down in his library was worth not getting the 2 lifelink in. So... now it works? I don't understand. Like, what does this fucking program want? Like, I start it before Arena. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I start it after Arena. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it works just in general. Sometimes we have no idea. Hey, Nobu. Good morning. So I could have cast this pre-combat with 3. He's tapped out. I should have again. I'm taking 1 more damage again that I don't want. I'm kind of annoyed about it. I'm annoyed that we've missed 2 triggers off Killian that were impactful. So take 3 here. Alright. Do we have a permanent in the graveyard yet? No? Okay. So they have a combined power of 4. I think this is just an attack. Is this an attack all? I think it's that. Yeah, that's his best block here for sure. I think just trading with the flyer is okay. It's not like I have a lot of gas in my hand. The only thing is I kind of wish he'd put a creature in my fucking graveyard, but he won't. Yeah, it's fine. Sure. Okay. Could Snakeskin Veil here for the value, but I'm pretty sure my 4/4 is going to kill him, so I'd rather keep it alive. I still wish I had a card in my graveyard so I could Helix, but I don't. He's out of flyers. We've got good blockers. He's got that red mana for something. We're a little out of value. We haven't seen one of our draw cards yet this game. I'm really annoyed I missed the double discount off Barrier in the books for that 1 turn. It would have been super good. Yeah, the math boys are beating you. You don't want to be in this wing of campus. The mathematicians rule supreme here. Blot out the sky. I haven't seen this card cast. I've seen this card draft. This is create X2121s, which would probably beat us here. Chose lifelink. What an asshole. Okay. So he goes to 10 here. There's no way I can not block that. He always gets to life. We just drew a land because why wouldn't we draw a land? Let's take a look. So that's 10, 12 damage if he no blocks. He doesn't have lifelink though, and we have 7. I don't survive 2 attacks. So we're 4, 6, 7, 8. I mean, if only we had a little bit more juice here. Am I trading off the 1/1? I kind of need I think it's this. I kind of need a card in the graveyard for Helix. I'm 1 mana off casting it and keeping Veil up. I think I need Veil to win here. I think I have to drop Snakeskin Veil Shields here, annoyingly, because I need pressure on the board. I'm really disappointed about it, but can't do it. But this guy's a bomb? For sure it's a bomb. It's a Vigilant blocker. Guy's at 6. Time Warp is a fucking top deck. I don't like the open mana. This has got to be attack all, right? That's the safe block. That's smart. Makes that a 4/5. I choose to go again. I draw a land. Alright, not a bad top deck in the tempo game with his tapped attackers to go again. So I took 2 extra points of damage that game from 2 of those Vigilant procs off the stupid Mentor by missing the fact that I discounted my own bounce. Okay. Never didn't have it? Never didn't have it indeed. Thank you. I mean, to be fair, we outdrew him on lands by... I mean, we were tutoring lands to our hand a little bit, but, like, the tutor lands are free, and we still drew more lands than he had in play. I'm pretty certain. Like, I don't know. Going second, I need, like, a counter for that. I mean, the counter would just read 100%. But it would still be nice to know that we had 100%. So I've got 3 forests in a hand with the blue mind control card. A card that triggers based on the number of cards in my graveyard. And a berry in the books. I mean, this is a pretty rough fucking hand. That's 5? Wasn't that 4? I'm not excited about keeping this hand. I just have to draw one of my 4,010 3-drops, so... Red mana. 2 drop. Another one of our late game cards. Alright, what are our 3 drops in this deck? Is this the deck with 12 Biomath Petitions, or is this the deck with like 3 Biomath Petitions? I think it's good to go tricolor in this set. If you can make tricolor in this set go, you should definitely do it. Problem with tricolor in this set, I mean, it depends. Tricolor in general, again, always is the same. Tricolor in this game is, in drafting, is an addition of power at a addition of inconsistency to your deck. If you can minimize that inconsistency through good land base, then sure. But if you can't know, this deck is hard to fix. The one that tutors for a land only tutors for forest. There's only 1 mana rock. It's on 3, which is pretty slow. And oh come on, he's got a 1 mana instant speed trick that's impactful to the board that lets him bounce Rutha to beat Barry right here. Unreal. There's what, 1 card in the set that's relevant to this board? Never punish, chat. Wow. Yeah, we did just get wrecked. We not only didn't put that card 2 cards down his library, and I even chose the safer play, which is like, this card can go off if I leave it on the board. Instead of removing the 2/1, I'll remove the 1/4 because I'm going to get punished if that 1/4 is left on the board. I run Infuriate, and it's in my hand. So, great. Jesus, I can't even take more damage from this. So I guess we're stealing Rutha next turn. I've got cards. I gotta stop taking damage, so I'm gonna play the Serpentine Curve as a 2/2. I've got a haster. I attack you with my haster. All your plays don't matter. Sweet. I can't mind control that. So I'm on the create a 3/3, make it a 4/4 when he attacks plan. That's pretty unexciting. God, that turn with the Infuriate was so bad for us. So unlikely, too. Like, Infuriate's a fine card as a combat trick. It's not an exciting card, but it's fine. Alright, he draws 2 as his last card. Sure. You're out of gas, but you draw 2. That you scry 2, draw 2. Okay. Sure. That's good. Any other last cards? Is your last card next one draw 7? Maybe a Time Walk? Unblockable 2/2. I can't. I don't have the mana. What, 2? Can I take 2 from an unblockable 2/2 that might not be unblockable next turn? 5 mana spell kills me as a 3/3. I think the answer is no, I can't. I'd really like to steal that Rutha, but he has cleverly never played this card again onto the board, dodging the mind control for like 25 fucking turns. I can if I'm brave. I don't know if you can be brave. I think I can if I'm stupid. He is mousing over his graveyard in blue-red. I don't know what blue-red graveyard recursion is right now. I'm trying to think. I honestly don't know. Draconic Intervention Sweeper in his aggro red-blue deck. Sure, makes perfect sense. I mean, that card belongs in the same deck as a deck that regularly plays Infuriate, right? I draft rares. I put them in my deck. What is the judgment? Dude, Gargoyle is so slow and it doesn't block. I only take 1 if I don't block with Gargoyle. But I could put fucking like another draw card on top. I could try to get the creature out. So what is the next turn? The problem is next turn is at the very least is recurring the 3/2. The assistant challenges the 3/2. This hand doesn't do anything. I kind of feel like drawing is useful. Could put the steel card on top. Steel card's not bad. I don't know, chat. I don't know if this is fast enough. Part of me just wants to put the draw card on because are these cards good enough? I mean, again, he's just going to Rutha bounce because his next card is going to be an Infuriate draw again. There's a red uncommon that does 3 damage and goes face in this set, by the way, chat. And I guarantee he's got one in his deck. I don't think 3 is different than 2. He could have another Infuriate, but he's already got the most value Infuriate has ever had on any board in any game of Magic across the entire history of the game. So, doesn't play his card, doesn't recur his guy. Bit scary. So I'm going to cast this and he's going to clone an instant. Oh man. Options are... I bounce it, targeting my instant. This is a sketchy play, chat. I'm not even sure this is right. We needed not to have taken an extra 8 damage that turn. He needed 1 less card. Yeah. Of course. It's inevitable. Like, why would he not top deck an instant or a sorcery here? Like, with no scries, no fixing, fuck this guy. Like, fuck this guy in every way possible. I hope he chokes on a fucking bone of a fish out of nowhere in front of his family with, I don't know, with like the generations of his onlooking family standing by as he dies. Fucking a card that immediately pulls 2 cards out of his sideboard, giving him 3 extra cards this turn while negating my card. Amazing. Like, what the fuck? I draw instant sorcery. It counters your ability. It draws me 3 cards. Can I ever attack again with... I mean, this turn is what? 2 4/4s now? Like, fuck off. Wow. Glad I opened up the Magic client this morning. So glad. We draw a land. Oh, he draws, his next card he draws is the steel card that takes my card. I mean, well played. You did it. Every one of your cards answered my cards. Every time I took a risk to not lose the game, I lost, got punished massively for it. You, sir, are a valuable contributing member of this community. I hope your luck holds out for the rest of your life. Fuck me. All right, we got to 5, whatever. I mean, what am I supposed to do with that, chat? Like, I'm not playing a game of Magic here. Like, fuck. All right. So that was yesterday. Let's move on to today. Felt like a good game for them? I'm sure it did. I'm sure it fucking did. Holding all of the answers at all the times. 1 mana, attacking. Like, I mean, I can just not play my steel card. I could have put a draw card on top. It's less greedy, but like, that card, Rutha, is fucking terrifying in that position. I kind of like the Wandering Alcoholic as the top left. I think that card is really strong in aggro decks. It's very difficult to deal with because there's so many instant and sorcery instants and sorceries that are the answers to it. Emergent Sequence is very good, but I don't know if it's better than the Wandering Alcoholic. I think Tenured Inkcaster is fine, but it's not exciting. Yeah. And I don't mind first picking a colorless. This card is not great, but it's okay. I'm not sure if it's first pickable over emergent sequence, but I want to play an aggro deck in this format. I'm really tired of only drafting Phoenixes. I'm kind of feeling forced into Phoenixes, or not Phoenixes, always drafting Simic, because I feel like Simic is so stupidly good right now. So speaking of, this is an aggro Phoenix. It's okay. Learn recursion is fine. It's a 2/2 flyer. 2/2 flyers are okay. I like explosive welcome at the top end of Izzet. I don't want to play Izzet though. I think Izzet's good. I think at the moment my guild ordering is something like that's interesting. I think that Muse is quite good. And I think the Muse is good enough to pick up here, but I really would like to try a Boros deck, and this is definitely one of the payoff cards of Big Boros. This card is better on a one-to-one basis than that, and this card fits into this deck just fine, but I kind of want to try Big Boros, so let's try Big Boros. It's not Simic, they renamed the 2 color combinations. I don't care what Wizards branding wants me to fucking call it. I'm already annoyed enough that I'm calling red-green Simic, and the fact that it just saves me one word is good enough. I'm not calling it something even stupider because they want to sell me Harry Potter Goes to fucking School for this set. So I don't care if they've changed the name. It's another Spirit payoff card there. Not a particularly good one in my opinion, but it's okay. All right, I'll grab it. House ranking for this set. What's the... I'm missing one in my head right now. I've got the Simic, Orzhov, Boros, Izzet. And what's the last one in this combination? Golgari. Dude, Simic is so good right now. That feels like the top for me. I think Big Boros is pretty damn good too. It's really scary. I think, and I think the Izzet deck is quite good as well. So far, I've not been at all impressed with Golgari. That's my bottom. And I think Orzhov requires you hit the build around cards to get any value out of it, because I think it's fairly weak to start with. Here I'd like the Campus, but I'll take the Pledge Mage for the beginning. Actually, Guiding Voice is also excellent. I hope to wheel it, but I might not. But this card is pretty solid. A 2/2 first striker for 3 that threatens to grow on instants and sorceries is quite annoying. Yeah. You think Simic's overdrafted? Dude, Simic is so strong right now. It's like it's all commons to it's all commons to get the nuts in that fucking deck. All right, I'm not very excited by Defend the Campus or Secret Rendezvous. I like Tome Shredder just fine. I gotta be a little careful. I want to go Big Boros, but we gotta be a little bit careful we hit curve enough for this. That 1-mana Learn spell is very good, so I don't like passing it. But we just saw another one good. Thrilling Discovery doesn't seem very good to me. This is very expensive. Discard 2 cards to start, then draw 3. So you're not getting card advantage, you're getting card selection. It's supposed to be for flooding, but you have to have 2 lands to flood with this. This is like, to me, this is like a really bad, what is it, Tormented Voices or whatever. I'd like the duel. I'm going to take the Guiding Voice first. We need some, I want cards like this though, right? We want instants and sorceries in our graveyard. We want learn cards. We want, we have things that trigger off instants and sorceries. So it's the type of card I do want, right? Phoenix comes back on learns. We pull cards out of our graveyard. We're going to get value out of learn, etc. White-red recursion is nuts. So I'm saying I think Big Boros is definitely in the top 3. I haven't been very impressed with aggro Boros. There's Infuriate. Do we play Infuriate here over... Like Sudden Breakthrough is okay. I really don't like First Year Student. Tome Shredder has been good. We do have some synergies with removing things from our graveyard, but not perfect synergy since we actually want to rebuy things too. So I'm not sure I want second Tome Shredder here. Infuriate's okay for a deck like this. It's certainly ridiculous when your opponent... I'm so annoyed that he had 2 answers to Rutha, one off the top of his deck. It was so stupid. Do we take some lessons over the Guardian? Guardian's got a big butt, but doesn't really do anything. I'll take the first lesson. Yeah, Breakthrough's first strike is good. First day of class has learn. Guiding Voice is again pretty decent. I've found Explosive Welcome overperformed. We can be too slow, but this card was really good for us last time, so I'm going to try putting it back in our deck. That card is very scary. I'm happy with Rise. Another slow removal though. It's a little bit spooky. I didn't even see Rise the first time around. I like Make Your Mark. I don't hate the double striker. Expanded Anatomy is decent in this deck too. We can't have too many 1-mana combat tricks. But we'll take a Make Your Mark. Okay. Don't hate the duel. There might be a blue card we want to play. Red-white duel. The Mentor is another card that lets me scry when my graveyard gets removed. The Hexproof Trick. Sudden Breakthrough is the first strike trick. Kind of a weak pack for us, huh? I think the Troll is interesting. I'd like to play a Golgari deck that didn't suck today as well. I'm not sure if that's possible. I'm pretty sure Golgari is by far the worst in this format. I think this is just Mentor again. If I wheel the duel, I'm okay. If I wheel the Sudden Breakthrough, I'm okay. I might even wheel the Teaching if I get some more blue tap lands. I just haven't found Teaching to be very good. That's a sick card. Too bad we're nowhere near it. So Duress, a Creative Outburst, a Pilgrim for tutoring, another Mentor. I need the better Boros payoff cards. There's like 2 of them. There's like a Dwarf who's fucking insane. There's like 2 really, really good Spirit cards that we haven't seen at all yet. I almost feel like you have to have them first. But I'll take Pilgrim of the Ages. I think it's the best card in the pack. This card likely wheels. Yeah. Well, actually, I think that card's the best card in the pack, but we're nowhere near it. Best card I can play, I should say. Yeah. I don't know what this card does. It's a 2/3 for 3 that gives me Indestructible if I want it. It doesn't seem very good. There's the Owl Mage, Owl Shield Mage. Rip Apart's reasonable. I think the removal's got to be better than the Glyph Weaver. It's just a 2/3 for 3 with the flip side that I can't use. I also don't hate just having another lesson, although we get a little less value out of lessons and a little bit more value out of learn with the Phoenix. Don't have any 2s at all. What is this? I don't know what this card does. Mixes Mastery. Exile target card that's an instant source from your graveyard for each card exile. This way, copy it and me put the copy. Pay the copy without passing it. Exile. Overload. I don't know what that means there. The second part of it. 2/2 for 2. Sudden Breakthrough. Anything else I should be looking at? The Rescuer on 5. Do we have instants of sorceries? So this is like a 4-mana use my card again. For each it'd be all. So okay, that card seems good. I've got big expensive sorceries in our deck. Alright, Spirit Summoning as a lesson payoff. A learn trigger right there. The Historian's quite good. It synergizes what we're doing. It makes spirits. It removes from our graveyard. There's another Rise and there's a Sloth. I think the Sloth has underperformed for my opinion. Although a 5-mana 4/4 is okay in this format and it has other text on it, Vigilance and Menace. But I'm going to take Historian first. We need 2 drops. I'm okay if we wheel something else. I'm trying to get my salt levels down a little bit, chat. Just in general. Expel is fine as removal. It's kind of a little shitty since it's tap only. But it's okay. There's another Rise with Learn on it, which is good, but I'm worried about our curve. And the white-black duel is okay if we have something we want to splash, but we're not there yet. Okay. Guiding Voice seems like what we want in this deck. Let's take a look what else it's up against. Eureka Moment's excellent, but not in our colors. The Arcanist is bad. Extended Anatomy is okay. What's our current round? We just have the 1 lesson. We would like some more lessons. I'll take Guiding Voice for now. It's not like we have so much learn. The Phoenix is only good with quite a bit of learn. Mana Tithe as a 1-mana. It's counter any spell? Lol. Hell yeah. Another 2/2 first striker on 3. I think I'm okay with Mana Tithe. Card seems annoying. Sudden Breakthrough or Lorehold Campus. I have a lot of combat tricks already. I think I would like a Campus and some creatures. These cards don't get played. Bird Mage is wheeling. We didn't take a splash black land, did we? That is a card I would play with the splash black card in this deck. I don't think I'm playing letter, but there is some element for ramp with explosive. Breakthrough and beaming defense. Do we prefer 2/2 hexproof or first strike? I think I prefer first strike with a little bit of ramp. I don't want to play either of them. Sloth and enthusiastic study wield. I like the learn portion of this. It's a nasty trick, but it's expensive at 3. Do we want a 5-drop? It really doesn't do a lot. Maybe. Okay, pack 3. Yeah, we're missing a lot of the good burn, like that card. So what is this? Defiant Strike, Historian, and 2/3. That's okay. It's really overpriced. I think this has got to be Inspiration. Inspiration is really good. Do you think we're in a deck? We have no 2-drops and no 1-drops right now. You think we're in a deck that is going to be doing a lot of attacking creatures controlled double strike on turn 4? If we get it, we get it. I mean, it's not like it's not going to be high priority for other players either because the card's not very good. Well, it might be good for a lower down deck. It's not very good for us yet. Ancient Ardent Dust Speaker. I think we have to take that over the 2/3. I need some 2-drops though, and I'm feeling the lack of it. This probably replaces Sloth. Is this the random draw card, right? Okay, Thrill of Possibility is the much better version of that stupid red-white one that's going around. I need 2-drops. I've got a 3-drop dude there who's pretty bad. I've got another Pilgrim of the Ages on 3. I don't even hate Thrill of Possibility here, but I think this is Pilgrim first. Need 2-drops badly. Claim, Humiliate, Maelstrom Muse. Black-white is very open. Bit of a punish here. We can either take another 1-mana combat trick, or we can take a lesson. Study Break is an aggressive tempo card with learning. At the moment, we have no tempo. Fuck. I don't know, man. I like the learn with the Phoenix, but I need some creatures. Another Expel. That's a sweeper. Any 2-drops in here? No. Yes, a 1/2 flyer. Can I get a 2-drop with some stats on it? I'm thinking the Draconic Intervention. I guess we're hoping to wield a 2/1. There's a 1-drop that doesn't do anything. Another Explosive Welcome. Fucking finally, a Historian. And a 1/4 and another Make Your Mark. We missed all the red removal. Another Letter here, or Revitalize. Start from scratch. So as a lesson. I have enough spirits now that this card sometimes isn't just a 2/2 for 2, although a lot of the times it is. Do I just take 2/2 for 2? The problem is you need 3 attacking spirits for this creature to be worth just not attacking with it. I guess if you have flyers, it's something. Another one of the Dust Speakers. We have a lot of things that remove cards out of our graveyard. And perhaps not that many cards, and we have 1 lesson right now. Do we take a second lesson here? This card seems good though. It's a Boros value card. I suppose there's any lessons in here. No. Yeah. We have 1 lesson chat and like 5 learn. We better see that Phoenix pretty often. Never playing this card. Deck looks bad to me. Imagine paying a 3-mana card that draws you and your opponent 2 cards at sorcery speed. Like, what the fuck? All right, we got like halfway there with the Boros stuff. We don't have enough lessons. Probably needed to draft them a little bit heavier. I don't know where they were up against though. Like, I almost want to go back and like retrospect and see the draft decisions where the lessons were that we cared about. I'm not sure there were a lot. I feel like Wati has been better about their 2/2s recently, and a lot of 2/2s don't. There's not a lot of 2/2 textless 2/2s anymore, right? Like there's a lot that have a lot of upsides. So let's build this up. We have too many combat tricks, too few creatures, too many ways to learn with not enough lessons, and too many ways to remove cards out of our graveyard without the way to get them in our graveyard efficiently. Playing both the Pilgrims as value engines. There's some recursion threat later for that. We're playing both the Historians as our best 2-drop by a mile. I think this is a deck that can play the Sweeper. Although we have 2 other cards that want to play with Graveyard, so that it might be too much, right? Because both of the Ardent attackers, these Ardent Dust Speakers, this card empties our graveyard. This card wants instants and sorceries built up in our graveyard. This card wants to have instants or sorceries in our graveyard. This card removes instants or sorceries from our graveyard. Like it starts to get a bit of an issue here. I think we run Expel. I think we're running Rise. Rise is very expensive. I got a lot of value. So I got a lot of value out of that big red nuke spell, which by the way was up against the lesson in the final pick. I'm trying to find it for you guys. This one here. But when I was getting value out of this, I was playing red-blue with the ramp dudes. We didn't see any of them. The three mana 2/2s that at sorcery speed can make mana for you. We're always playing Phoenix in this deck. We have a lot of learn and not a lot of lessons. So this is the way we get value out of learn. We're always playing our 3 mana removal with learn tacked on the end of it. We're always playing Rip Apart. I think I want the Dust Speakers. Where are my Spirit Dorks? This card wants stuff in our graveyard. Artifacts. We have a letter. We could try. We have a letter and an Archaic. I think Archaic fits in this deck, by the way. This is not an artifact. This is just a colorless creature. What the fuck? It's too bad. This card would have been nice with Reconstruct History. Am I always playing Mana Tithe? I don't know. I don't know how good that card is. I've never used it. It just seems like an interesting thing to have a white counterspell for 1. Yeah, we could do letters. We could try some sort of ramp thing where we're playing letters and the payoff spells with the expensive removal. I don't hate it. I mean, 3 in this set seems like an insanely busy number, though. It makes the Letters of Acceptance even worse, right? Which is, I've got 2 Mentors on 3 who I wouldn't mind putting in this deck. I've got 2 letters that may or may not go in there. I've got this First Striking Shaman dude, which seems like he should go on 3. We've got, there's another card, 2 and 3, that we're kind of interested in. What was it? Though, the Tomb Shredder is on 3 as well. So we can overload on 3s here, which is a bit painful for our curve. All right. Instant, okay, return to hand. Instant sorcery. And then you exile this artifact enchantment. So we have sorceries that we'd like back. We have an instant we wouldn't mind back. We can get other instants and other sorceries by throwing in a couple other combat tricks. It's got to be good enough to play. It's a huge value card. If it ever 2-for-1s, it's a slow 2-for-1 that brings back removal. Seems okay. Yeah, I guess there is the second part of learn, right? We can use it to bin lands for cards. Yeah, but that's what we're trying to get. We're trying to get value out of that. Like, can we get an artifact in the graveyard before we cast that so we can recur a letter? Maybe. Maybe we run 1 letter. Maybe we run 2 letters. I'm going to try to play Reconstruct History. I feel like this is one of the Boros payoff cards, big Boros payoff cards. I'd like to run a 2/2 first striker who likes to be supported with instants. We have a lot of ways to pull cards out of our graveyard. The question I have is the Scry worth anything? Is a 3-mana 3/3 worth anything? Do we have too many 3-mana 3/3s? I kind of want these in my deck, but we'll see. All right, what are our 4-drop creatures, if any? So we kind of want these Dust Speakers in. We want to turn them sideways. They're not great attackers since they are 3/4 ground creatures, but they're okay. We're probably playing Infuriate. As a 1-mana combat trick, seems like what we want to be doing with these. It's pretty good with the 3/4s. I think I might want the first strike trick too. We've got creatures like both Historians and Pilgrims are low health creatures. And Infuriate's not a shit ton of HP. It's a little bit, 2 toughness. So this wants me to put instants or sorceries on the bottom of my deck. I want cheap instants or sorceries with this. So we probably want the double Guiding Voices in. It feels like this card is often a card I'm happy to put on the bottom. It's not a card I care about recurring, but it is a card I'm happy to put down for card value. That's what I'm saying though about the deck, trying to fit this deck in. Like, you start building this out and suddenly we've got a lot of cards we'd like in that don't really fit the deck. Like, I don't think I can take this value. I think this card doesn't work in our deck. We have too many other things at once, instants or sorceries. I don't think I can just exile them for +1/+1. I don't think that's good enough. We have more value we get from that. Do we play the Mastery? So we can use this to 4 mana, copy either Rip Apart or Inspiration. Reconstruct never hits the graveyard. We can copy Expel, but that's okay, I guess. I don't know if that's good enough either. This card at least hits the graveyard and then is something we can put in the graveyard. Overload is a cast thing, right? So Overload's, if I cast this for 8 instead of 4, I feel like we want some big removal in there. I feel like we either want Rise or the red one or both. And although I think this card is excellent, I don't think we can play it. Because again, we have too many things that require shit in our graveyard without enough ways to get shit in our graveyard. I don't hate Make Your Mark. I think this is actually a good combat trick with us. We're okay with the Pilgrims entering our graveyard. We would like to put an instant sorcery in our graveyard, and we're happy for a 1-mana trick that puts us there. So I think I might run Infuriate and Make Your Mark. I don't know if I want these Mentors. Like, I'm really worried about my creature count right now. We're on 9. Gotta get some more creatures in this deck. Do we have any other 2-drops that are worth talking about? I kind of want that first strike trick as well, but we'll see. Like, I'm happy to main phase a Guiding Voice on a creature because to get graveyard value later. I'm less happy to sudden breakthrough a creature for a 1-time bonus to just hit them in the face. Can I discard big spells? I can't discard. So the only way we could discard is Thrilling Discovery, and I'm not playing this card with the idea of binning my big spells for the 1 card that recurs it. I don't think. Although it's an interesting idea. If we had a bit more build around for that, maybe. So I'm saying, like, I think Big Boros is a really good. I think Big Boros is really strong in this set. The question is, what are the payoff cards you have to have before you can go Big Boros? You want me to self-mill? Could. Discard with the Learn mechanic is a good point that I hadn't really put together. Yeah, I keep forgetting that Learn has an alternate thing. So what are we playing for Learn? So right now we just have the 2 Guiding Voices, right? And the Inspiration. We have 3 more learn cards in our deck. So we need 6 cards in. We're a little light on 2s in this deck. A little heavy on combat tricks. A little light on real removal. Phoenix learns if you cast it? Really? Oh, interesting. This is one of the decks I've been wanting to play, although we didn't get the super good payoff cards for it. I think we run Rise. Do we also run Enthusiastic Study? It's a lot of combat tricks, and this is a very expensive one. I'm not sure I want to play that card. This card gets a lot better when we get graveyard value, the 2 mana Study Break. Like a lot better. Like taking a turn off to tap 2 creatures is never a thrilling use of my mana, or rather my spell cards, but if I have Ardent Dust Speakers to attack with, and then I can exile those and get cards out of it. Creature count is still 9, chat. Would you guys rather Blood Age General or Guardian as a 2-drop in? We have quite a few spirits, question mark. 2. The 2 off the 2 off the Historian is 4. The one off the Make Your Mark is 5. They're no flyers though. I don't really feel like this card does anything. But the 1/4 has been uniquely bad since I played this card. I mean, it holds the board down, I guess, but that's all it does. It's not a bad body to put counters on, though. 2/5 is pretty fucking irritating in this format. Star Pupil might be good enough. Moves its counters around. We're just low creature count. Playing at least 1 spirit for creature count. I don't know if I want both. So what cards are we considering here? Stonebound Mentor. Yeah, we just put 1 in. Yep. So we're considering the Study. Considering the Breakthrough. Have to be another combat trick out. Is Situational Defend the Campus removal okay? It does stack our graveyard with instant and sorceries. Is Mana Tithe okay? Could play the other Mentor. We don't have either letter in yet. I don't hate 1 letter. Where's my fucking big spell? Explosive Welcome. I kind of want to play 1 letter and 1 Explosive Welcome. I wonder if we ever get to cast this on 8. If we have enough learn, we sometimes just are binning lands too aggressively to make this card playable. We have no ramp. Although if we play Letter and Explosive Welcome and none of these others, I mean, this card becomes a draw card with Reconstruct. Is it too cutesy? Is Reconstruct too cutesy? Is bringing 1 instant, 1 sorcery for 4 back on average good enough? What if we binned Reconstruct? Like took Reconstruct out, brought in Mastery, kept the Welcome in, didn't play the Letter of Acceptance, and most of the time planned on discarding Welcome for another card with mastering it later. That feels more likely to occur. Mana cost on this is 8. Mana cost on that is 8. Oops. I mean, we're pretty light on removal. Sometimes mastery is literally just clone inspiration, which is okay. Or clone rip apart. Creature count's still like 11 or something. 11 with a couple recursive creatures. Might be okay. What would be our final card if we played this? Mana Tithe? Star Pupil? We could bring Reconstruct History in as well and play that and the Mastery. I mean, discarding Reconstruct History means we can recast it from our graveyard later. It doesn't exile until you cast it. I don't hate the second Mentor, but our 3-drops are pretty busy. Could just be our last 2-drop, although I'm pretty unexcited about putting fucking Blood Age General in this deck. Is there other way we're not 17 lands? I don't think so. I mean, Pilgrim tutors lands, but we also would like one day to use Pilgrim. What's our instant and sorcery count here? 11. No artifacts, no enchantments. It's really too bad that Wandering Alcoholic isn't an artifact. Yeah, Surprise Mana Tithe is interesting too. It's just, I mean, it has some synergy with the deck, right? The Dust Speakers can exile it and we don't mind. It could be Mana Tithe. I have never played that card. It feels like it could be good. Force Spike isn't good, but everyone expects blue counter spells and no one expects white counter spells. So a part of me is kind of like, yeah, we're going to get them. We're going to blow them out. Another part of me is like, maybe not. Feels weird not to play Reconstruct History. I think this card is excellent. But I think I'm more likely to get value out of Mastery. This card feels more flexible. This card is very slow. I will recur things, but I recur things at a speed that my opponents will see them, and I often can't cast them the turn I recur them. This card casts immediately, so sometimes it's just a 4-mana, 2-drop removal or 3-drop removal, but sometimes very late it's a 4-mana, it's an 8-mana, like win the game, empty my graveyard. I just feel like it's more flexible than this card with what we have. We'll try Mana Tithe. I don't know about this deck. This will be our first foray into Boros. What do we call this? What is a B word that means first? Boros's beginnings? Beginning Boros? Beginner Boros? This looks like a very interesting deck. It's going to be things to do with it. Bread deck with B-R-E-D, bread deck. Baby Boros, yeah. Baby Boros. First steps. And that's what Baby Boros looks like. Okay. All right, I like it. It's weird not to play the Reconstruct History, but I'm concerned we don't have quite enough cards for that. Maybe we would. But I'm looking at this here. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's good enough. And we have, okay, what are our instant and sorcery counts? We're like 6 instants, 6 sorceries. That's pretty nice. But we want to eat instants and sorceries out of our graveyard. Yeah. And I don't know what our next card out is, right? Like, I feel like Explosive Welcome is a big payoff for this deck. I feel like Rise is pretty damn good with the Phoenix. We're running 1, 2, 3, 4 learn cards. It'd be nice to run 5 learn cards right now. If you're playing Mizzix for the same reason, why not play 2 cards that buy back? Man, the why not questions are pretty rough, man. I think we're leaning. I'm leaning towards enforcing this rule, right? Which is you have to offer a card out and why. I've explained extensively why between Mizzix Mastery and Reconstruct here, I'd prefer the Mastery. Now, our next card out is what? If we're gonna put in Reconstruct. Manatize always underperforms. I don't know. I've never played this card, and it might be worth checking it out. I've never played this card either, though, because it's pretty early on. So my issue with Reconstruct is we have 2 cards that empty our graveyard of instants and sorceries. Kind of the core of our deck for value casting. And this card, Broadcast What's Happening, is slow, and in our deck is only ever instant and sorcery, best case. So some of the time, we're not going to have our 4 instants in there. Some of the time, the cards we bring back are going to be super low impact, like Guiding Voice. And some of the time, it's going to be too slow to protect us. Like recurring, like Explosive Welcome never works, right? Like it's a huge, I mean, it might if we have a solid board state where no one's dying for a turn, and I have the ability to next turn cast this. So that's my issue with this card compared to the Mastery, which is more flexible, right? Sometimes this is a 4 mana Igneous Inspiration, and that's okay. Manatize stops being actionable after turn 4. Sure, I believe that. But it also, if we can play this at a reasonable time, will stack the graveyard for something like Dust Speaker. It's a card I'm very happy to exile, unlike my other instants or sorceries. If I'm trying to recur my instants and sorceries, I'm going to be picky about which ones I exile. So this one being one of the ones that I'm happy to exile seems reasonable. I'm worried again, like the whole reason we're not playing Tomb Shredder, who I like, or the Sweeper, which I think is totally good, is I'm worried about the number of things that require us to have instants or sorceries in our graveyard. So I guess the question is with a card like this is, does this deck look like it's running out of value right now? I don't really feel like it is. What are his stats on Dust Speaker? He's a 3/4 for 5 that only triggers on attacks. You want to go down to 1 Dust Speaker? Cutting a creature here is a bit sketch. How do we kill them? So I said 3/4. Did I say something different? Those are the stats in my head. 3/4 for sure. It's anti-synergetic with the Overload. I'm not expecting to play this card as the Overload very often. I'm expecting to play it as a 4 mana fairly regularly. I mean, this card's anti-synergetic with Reconstruct too, right? All right, let's try this. I hear you that I would like to play the Reconstruct as well. I don't know how it fits into this deck. We'll see. If we play a game or two and we're like, man, this deck runs out of value nonstop, then perhaps we try to fit Reconstruct in. But I said this is baby Boris's first steps. Let's see what happens with it. Okay. Remember, chat, we're playing 9 sources of red, 9 sources of white. We have both of our Plains Tutors in hand. Okay. Two Dust Speakers in hand is pretty fucking painful, since these cards require that I have instants or sorcerers in my graveyard and exile the cards I don't play. don't really want these super early. I'm not sure. Maybe we can't play 2 of these. Maybe we cut one of these little fuckers and get the reconstruct in. Maybe that's more versatile of a game plan. This is the opponent I like. Plays the worst color combination, doesn't do anything for 3 turns. Has me pretty excited. Is there a black-green mana tithe? Although he plays very slowly. Thinks for a while about, is it worth letting my opponent resolve his Plains tutor that I can't interfere with? Oh no, the professor of zoology! Alright. I think we just develop our 4-5. I don't remember what our single lesson is. Three, 4. I keep calling it a 4-5, don't I? Yeah. So I can attack if I don't develop that, right? I can remove the 4-3 and swing and trade off a pilgrim for a 1-1, but it's a pretty rough 2 for 1. Although I can start recurring pilgrims in a minute. Is it a May? It is a May. That's really unique. That's good that it's a May. So we can choose when we're exiling, which is nice. Okay. The professor's in and he's angry. Smash! Bear Druid smash! Fucking tempted to gang block that. Dude, land, last 2 draws, tutored 2 lands, started with 3. I mean, we're like massively flooded already, aren't we? It's kind of annoying. I'm going to take another 4 from that if I don't attack. I guess I'm trading life total here. It's kind of unexciting. We have like 6 combat tricks in this fucking deck. Worst part is I have to keep developing mountains here because I need mountains for the future sources. Okay. So maybe we learn to not bring value, but to cycle lands. We can bin lands for cycling here. So we have so many cards that leave the graveyard. Really wish we had, I mean, we were going to play, we have playing the 1 spirit, but I don't really feel like we can afford the 2nd spirit. Maybe the spirit's better than the 1st striker for this deck, but the 1st striker feels like I can force damage in a way that the spirit doesn't. It does feel like scry value is going to start to accumulate if we have so many ways. What is this? This is a planeswalker, and what does it do? So it's a mythic planeswalker. And it just eats my biggest creature. Okay, well, whatever. We still get to kill it, but it's still fucking shitty. All right, so both of our guys are dead now, which feels really bad. This turn is terrible. All right, let's take a look at what we're binning. So this always happens. We could get Scry 2, draw a card, which doesn't seem great. Or we could just bin a plains for a draw, which I think is better. Awesome. Okay. So both of our guys who eat instants and sorceries out of our graveyard are gone. We can cast all the instants and sorceries on curve, chat. We're in. We're fucking in. Alright, So this was a very unexciting hand. Here, would the reconstruct be better? Nope. I would be buying back a single spell and broadcasting that I can do it. I mean, let's hope our opponent's hand isn't just all 7 and 8 drops that we can't beat. I mean, we're flooding insanely hard here. But it still sucks. I don't think I can let that stay on the board. I just drew a plains. How can I draw a plains right now? I think I just have to remove that with another cycle. I can overload. There's only 1 card in my graveyard. The overload is exactly identical to casting out in 4 right now. So I can go 3 face, or I can tap this and go 2 face. Where were you guys before, huh? Okay. I guess, I don't know, like this card is like a slower tempo cycle, right? So, I mean, I could have had this in my graveyard to get it cast with the overload. Am I blocking to protect life total? I kind of like that he's swinging here. I don't like going to 13. This card is so slow to recur. We're almost at 9 though, where we get recursions on this. So the fact he didn't activate this creature is pretty happy for me, because I'm really worried about him just binning a worm. Dude has a 2-mana removal for my Pilgrim. That sucks. Never didn't have it, chat. Never didn't have it. Okay. The blowouts. All right. Recurring threat. Feels bad. Slowly bleeding out here. All right, 1/4 challenges a 3/3. That's good. There's how much mana? We have 9 on board and another 3 in our graveyard. 9 on board. Oh, dude, I think recurring the Pilgrim is actually better than casting these. I mean, this is a 4/4. This is a 1/4. We take 4 doing this way. We stop this. Maybe it's better. Sets up my next turn annoyingly. 6 to recur, 3 to cast, which is insane. I could throw this out, recur that, take the 4 anyways. Maybe that's okay. These are so slow to bring back. We are dying. Recur his planeswalker. Fuck you. Fuck you. What are we on? 9, 8, 5, 8, 12. Can't do it. What's the plus? Okay. Dude. I can exile this creature, sure. Dude, but I can't. I'm like a million turns away from being able to actually use the Pilgrim to beat that thing down. If I play this, it's the highest power creature, so I don't get to choose. He just eats my Archaic, which I don't think is good enough. We're 1 mana off doing anything useful here. Thing is, he doesn't attack with that next turn if I do anything else. So now I'm like, Pilgrim's in the graveyard, can't touch it. Takes way too much mana to bring back. I've got a 2/1 on the board. If he casts his Planeswalker with no protection, which is all we can have the mana for, then I guess he can minus this and I lose the Pilgrim, which is fine. But it's not really that fine. He can't minus again next time, I guess. Probably he just builds board here, which is maybe okay. Maybe I get time to build board too. Nope. Guy doesn't give a fuck about building board. He's just like, it's in.
Welcome to Witherbloom College.
Okay, yeah, this is the problem, right? Plus is this. I mean, I get some time, I guess, to develop here, maybe. Okay.
Ugh, there has to be an answer here.
We draw land. I don't know how it's possible, but we did. We have combat tricks that pump this.
I won't give you a second chance.
So if I play Archaic, he eats Archaic, develops a creature to block. If I play Pilgrim, it's the same problem. Okay. We have 11 mana developed on board. Opponent's on 7. Just drain me for 2, casting an instant. We're gonna lose this game, chat. There's no way we beat this, right? Like, I can't get power on the board. I mean, I guess we draw our Infuriate right now. Maybe we just kill it. Maybe that's okay. Nope, he's got a blocker. We drew our last planes somehow.
You've got to learn some manners.
I have 19 lands? I better not have fucking 19 lands. You mean I have 19 lands? Why don't I have 17 lands? There's no way I'm running 19 lands in this deck.
Let's go digging.
Nah, it's being trolled by some guy in chat who's like, you're running 19 lands. We've never added lands to this deck, and the auto fucking thing is gonna just do that. Can't not block this. Can I recur this on my end step? Yeah. Such a bad attack from his part. Why would he even bother? Yeah. I can't beat Liliana though. I mean, It sucks to losing to our opponent. Our opponent doesn't. I mean, the opponent just threw this 2/2 into the graveyard for no reason whatsoever. Oh, I should have played this land. Could have recurred a Pilgrim. Yeah, that's the type of card I'm concerned about. Like, he wins with a card like this sooner or later. It's not like I can beat it, though. So, here we are. Where are the creatures with power? Graveyard.
Come on,
Graveyard,
there's gotta be
graveyard.
Something useful. Ugh.
Hit answers from early. All of our early game is in the bottom of our deck. All of our late game is there. Just tramples at lifelinks. I mean, the worm kills us next turn. Can't recur because I didn't play my land. I mean, I just don't think we can win. We can't flood this hard and win. It just doesn't happen. So I don't think I have an answer to the bookworm either. That's an answer to the bookworm. Where's my Phoenix? We've been through 3/4 of our deck and not managed to get the Phoenix that's supposed to be recurring on this. What a painful game. Kill his planeswalker once, he recurs his planeswalker. We just draw lands. Ugly, ugly game. Can't draw early game. Don't have threats. Okay. Next instant or sorcery kills us. Don't have power to kill this card anymore. Oh, removal now. Great. That'll be helpful. What a game. What an exciting foray into the world of Magic. Makes me glad I woke up and logged on. We'll draw. I mean, the deck is like... I feel like what we just did here... I'll try to show you on the curve. I feel like what we just did here in this particular curve is we drew... Not this card, but we drew like... Starting at 5, we drew down, missing the best card in each stack. It's like... Actually, you could probably say that drawing down from the top. Alright. Starting at 6, missed our 8 mana payoff card that we never saw this deck that would have blown that fucking game up at any single point. Sure. So we missed the best one in that pile, hit the rise. Missed the best one in this pile, we drew Archaic very last. We've got both of these in our opening fucking hand. Missed the best one out of this pile, we missed the Phoenix. Missed the best one out of this pile, we repeatedly have cards that synergize with removing from the graveyard. We remove cards repeatedly from the graveyard. This one, we missed the Stonebound Mentor. We missed the best card out of here. We don't get our fucking... Historians early, we don't see it, we get ripped apart. I mean, I can literally just go down the line on hitting these. It's so painful. So painful. I don't feel like this is a 16 land deck. There's a part of me that wants to after that fucking showing, but the Pilgrims are big mana sinks. Presumably one day we're going to want to hit our Explosive Welcomes, our Mizzets. If we ever get to attack with an Ardent Dust Speaker, we need a lot of lands in play to capitalize on the spells that are only available for this turn. Like, I don't feel like this is a lower land deck. I think we just got Magic there. We just got Watsied. What do we want to call it when we get mana flooded or screwed? Getting Watsied? Getting the full experience? Is it time for a screw? So we don't have a creature. We got our 6-drop, our 4-drop, and our 5-drop. No 2s going first. Okay. All right, no 2s, no 3s. Our whole deck is 3s. Hit our next land though. It's good. That's a 3 who does something. Tutors lands. It's a good draw. Okay. Another draw there seems reasonable. Okay. Little mana inefficient to not play out Guiding Voice here. Maybe I should. Maybe I should have put that on Pilgrim, and then if he blocks either, I make the mark. I don't really want to pay a spell to kill a land card, though. I kind of want to main phase just on the Pledge guy to get in for 4, I guess. Maybe I don't even. Maybe I just get in for 2 and play another card. Opponent's just dirtling over there. Okay. Someone having the gall to say 19 mana when there's an obvious deck tracker on screen. That's you, dude. You're the guy with the gall. You're the guy who made the comment. Seems weird. Do I blow up the wall for the cost of this card? Some options here too. Could just bin this looking. I could bin this looking for a land, or I could take this. In a bad math moment, that's fine, man. It's not a big deal. I'm just saying, like, it was weird that you accused me of running 19 lands. I'm like, dude, you're like, you deserve to draw so many lands. You run 19 lands, and I'm like, wait, I don't run 19 lands. I in fact run 17 lands. Wow. Okay. Dude, I don't know if I should be trading in Make Your Mark to just kill this wall. It's preventing shit tons of damage. So the play would have been slightly different, right? Last turn it would have been, or this turn it would have been, put the counter on this guy and attack. But I really don't want to pay cards to remove the wall. I mean, to be fair, opponent hasn't done anything yet this game, so that's exciting. I could pump a different creature here to get in to kill the wall. He's got open mana though. Sometimes it just gets removed. I think I'm okay getting in for 4. Okay. Yeah. Exactly, we can wombo combo the graveyard with Mastery in a minute. We're going to try anyways. I will blow an Infuriate to get past this. Maybe it's the same, but this card is posted 2 for 1, right? It's 3 red though. Is there some universe in which we're allowed to be color screwed as well at this point? That's a nice draw. All right, with 6 here, we can exile. Could exile the Blood Researcher and thingy. We could just play out our guy and still hold up. Infuriate. This card survives with Infuriate. Becomes a 5/3, which beats the Troll. I think that's fine. He doesn't have lifelink, right? Okay. Alright, building spells into our graveyard. Alright, we're at 4 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 in there. Okay. He can gain life at instant speed, so that card doesn't get me anywhere. I think we're just going to rise the 4/3. Are we discarding? It's 8 or 2 away. Kind of need mana for this. I can attack with the 3/4. I can kill it when light is a sorcery, bro. I'm not really okay trading this, just getting it eaten. This is just Phoenix damage. I think I just have to rise this thing. Annoyingly, we can attack next turn with the other thing. Am I learning? I think I'm declining. Okay. Sure. Like, we've been so blanked by this wall, it's hilarious. Could cycle land, but I kind of need land, you know, to trigger this. Could attack with this turn. But I have to pre-combat inspiration anyways. This is the last turn I can attack with this valuably. So maybe we are. Alright, so let's go ahead and pre-combat inspiration. That dude. I think he trades the 4/3 for the 3/4 here, and I think I'm okay with that. Could just not attack with that now. What are the odds we get a 3 mana card out of the 2 we get? We can play lands, right? Yeah. Alright, we're gonna actually go to combat here then. With all 3. We'll exile the spirit one that we don't care about. Which is that one. Nice, can play them both. Okay. That fucking wall's putting in work this game. Carrick Wrangler. Okay. Alright, is that 8? I believe this is 8. So this is a turn we cast all the things in our deck, right? Alright, the joy, the dream of building up the graveyard then casting all the spells seems great. Okay. Alright, so that's why I got that card in there. Sometimes it's just a 4 mana removal spell, and sometimes it wins us the game, which feels nice. You would have played Stonebound last turn, so Mastery Scries. Did I draw a Stonebound? Maybe instead of the 1/4? Sure, could have done that, I guess. Doesn't really matter. We weren't guaranteed to draw land. But anyway. Yeah. History would have worked there, right? No. I see the kappa. I see the exclamation. I realize you're not saying that seriously, but no, it wouldn't have for those who might otherwise interpret it differently. Alright. We have a 2-drop, an early play, a card to put in our graveyard, and a learn. This seems okay. Going first. Oh my god. I mean, his wall put in work, but we were okay with a dirtily gameplay there, I guess. I was kind of annoyed how low power the Phoenix felt when I played it. As a two power beater did not seem very good, which is kind of stupid. Feels like it should be a really good card. Alright, guys stuck on lands. That's fine. What are we doing? The problem is both of these are reactive. Maybe he'll remove my 2/1. That would be nice. Clunky ass fucking turns. I just passed with 3 mana. Passed with 3 mana again. I'm glad that he played the 3/3 and didn't have the shock to punish me for it. Opponent seems mana screwed. I don't really just... is this card good enough in this deck? Like, I understand it's another learn effect, but... okay. He's trying to draw out of this flood. Makes sense. I guess next turn we get our guy back, but it's pretty unexciting. Okay. Guy is buying out of his flood, out of his screw, which sucks because we don't have any pressure. We have 2 drops and 3 drops. We had a good opening hand. What is the problem with the rest of this shit? I need cards that do something. Like that card. Almost kept the land. I'm really close to casting this, but not super close, I guess. The guy is still fixing. Poor guy. He's been land screwed for so long. And we're putting out so little pressure. This is like the ideal land screwed card. If he can get out of this land screw, he's going to have so much value relative to what we have. Good answer for 3 mana. Okay. So we're just playing forest islands and mountains. Okay. So he's Simic is what we're gathering from this. Splashing a mountain and he just land screwed early. But playing Elemental Masterpiece. Okay. Imagine having 0 pressure. He's still at fucking 16 health. We'll take a turn off to recast our 3/4. It's an exciting moment, isn't it? And another blocker. All right, what is this? We're on 4, 5, 6, 7. We're 1 off. Dude, maybe this card doesn't belong in this deck. This card has been bad so far. I guess I'm just going to tap his blockers end step and learn. I'm going to learn the lessons of our ancestors. What, I'm binning Infuriate, hope for the land. I'm not binning Infuriate anymore. Declining learn triggers. Imagine declining learn triggers. So we're on 7, right? So I can still rise plus swing. I kind of want him to block. I think he's incentivized to block. He might not, though. Mana Tide, what a troll. Cost with red mana, no! Okay, well, I'm casting it now anyways, we can still use our mana. Okay. Mind control is definitely annoying. I don't like him having mana up here. Okay. I guess I don't know if it mattered. Just trying to think if we wanted to dig cards out of our graveyard there or not. So he's learning. I mean, this is the problem, right? Like, he had a flood, or a screw rather, and we did not have any pressure. So now he's got a lot of cards he can play each turn, and a lot of mana to do it. He's drawn out of it. We're not out of value yet, but we are waiting. The 2-for-1 off the stealing was pretty nasty. Too bad this isn't instant. There's so many instants and sorcerers down here. Yeah. Do we have 8? Yeah. So we start probably digging next turn. If we blank a removal, we're probably just attacking the Dust Speaker into nothing. What is this card? Okay. Is that 10 flyers okay here? I don't mind trying to dig value out of the Dust Speaker. It sucks we're trading it into a 4/4. I guess I'm okay. I can't learn. There's nothing to learn though. It's very likely I can get it both. I could just attack with both, but if I get my fucking 8 mana card and lose the game from it, it'd be insane. Is it even very good here? I guess it is. All right, let's go to combat. Trash. It's not in my hand either, so we just get eaten there. Sucks. I think I'm scrying over the Phoenix that can't attack here.
Quitters never win.
Dude, everything's a 4-4, and this is that guy's a 3-4. Even if it traded up, that would have like if it just traded and I did that, that would have been fine. It's kind of painful. It's not. Offbeat grunge. Thanks for the 7 months. I'm gonna take 4 for the first time here. We feel floody in this deck, which is kind of weird. I can bin this for another card. Bin that for another card. That's the card we're looking for. It's a next turn thing. Okay. He's one off. He could have scryed, right? He has a land in play, the island. Explosive can go face, yep. It can only go face once. So he's at 1 right now. What he can't? Can he counter this? Chat. How does the interaction work when I've already cast this? You can cast it without paying its cost. Does that include the counter? It just counters 3. So what are we at? We're at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We actually want to land then. I take 8 here. 8's a lot. He's not done on board. If we remove the thing with 3 though, and we get in for 3, 5 to his face, he's dead. Now we just take it. Okay. So we're looking for a land on top is the dream here. Okay. It's 2, right? Yeah. That's perfect. No, I don't want to sack Historian. I think he's just letting us resolve it to be a cool bro, but we'll see. Oh, he gets a creature out of that. He's still dead. That's scary how close he was to surviving. Why was that? Because he cast a spell. Oh. I wonder if there was a better series of removal options there to get there. Okay. That's a crazy card when that goes off, huh? We almost didn't include that in the deck. But I'm really glad we did, because that card seems to be the nuts when we get there. Still haven't drawn this card, or we drawn it at a point that doesn't matter. This Pledge Mage has not been very good for us so far. Nor has this Guardian, although with this many tricks it feels like we gotta have shit. Okay. It's a cool deck, right? Like, it's doing cool things. This is kind of something very different than the Simic deck. It's very different than what white-red normally does. I don't normally think of white-red as a, like, fucking graveyard synergy spell deck. I generally think of white-red as little beaters, or sometimes really big beaters. We still haven't drawn our Mana Tithe at a reasonable time. It does feel like a bad card in this deck. It feels like it'd be a good card if we ever had it early. It's nice to see our Phoenix. We're a little slow here with no 2-drop. We got 2 3-drops though. I mean, we're obviously keeping this hand. It's just... What does the learn word do? Learning is the act of acquiring new information. So when you learn in this game, you acquire a new spell from your sideboard with the keyword lesson, which are sorcery only spells. God. I don't see any reason not to tutor the land here. It's a worse attacker, I guess, but not by that much. Opponent's playing the same colors we are. Wait till you see the spirit synergies though, chat. We don't have spirit synergies in this deck. This is just big Boros doing like instant sorcery recursion shit. But like there's some really powerful spirit synergies in this set as well. 4-3. Kind of 1 mana off what I want to do here. I could just run out Phoenix and attack him, but I don't want to leave that there. I kind of want to get the damage in. Thing's actually pretty scary. How do I deal with it? Dig, I guess. Nice. I didn't like attacking here because he just trades damage. I didn't like leaving it up to block because he just removes it. So it's kind of nice to hit a removal there. A little scary throwing away our land. Might even have been wrong. So with 5, I could double spell small dudes and save the Phoenix. That seems better than learning on this board. So I think I go to combat and then we run out the Pledge Mage and the Historian. Okay. He could have the Sweeper, but he has no instants or sorcerers in his graveyard yet. So the Sweeper is not very telegraphed quite yet. Could just be end step removal. I always forget you can cast out an opponent's spells. Sure, that's fine. This doesn't exile, it's just uncounterable, right? Yeah. Now I can just exile that and swing. That seems fine. Just building my graveyard still. Are we tutoring anything? I don't mind tutoring that away.